Hi guys, it is Wednesday morning and I'm checking out my garden. I built these raised beds. Well, actually my husband built these beautiful raised beds and I planted everything under the sun. 90% of what I planted is by seed, but let's take a look and see how beautiful my garden is doing. So check out my parsley. And by the way, I've been harvesting from this garden all season. So I don't know if you can hear it, but the landscaper is out there somewhere. Look at this beautiful basil. I've already made basil salt, basil butter. I've been using so much basil because I just can't imagine how beautiful and fresh it is still. And this is corn that I planted, corn seeds. My oregano has been doing phenomenal. It's just my tomatoes, I think, that might be struggling a little bit, but the tomatoes that I do have, I put these bags over them so I can protect them from the animals, because I sure as hell have a lot of animals and they're taken over. But these are my Roma tomatoes. Actually, no, these are my San Marzanos, and I've got some really nice size San Marzanos in here. If you can see, I'm just waiting for them to start to blush, and once they start blushing, I'm going to go ahead and take those off. But I did get a good amount of tomatoes already, mostly the baby, the cherry tomatoes. But cucumbers I've been harvesting pretty much most of the season already, and everything's looking great. And a lot of the seeds that I planted, I forgot to put markers, and this is definitely a squash plant. I can't remember what kind of, I think it's a butternut squash, I'm not sure. But look at how it's growing around the cattle panel trellis and over to the other side. Very cool. So, and now I've got bush beans here. I've got yard long beans, otherwise known as Bora or Bodhi if you're from Trinidad. And my tomato plants again. I think I have 10 tomato plants, and most of my tomatoes are indeterminates. So you've got to prune them and prune off most of the suckers, and they will do really, really well. So let's see. Some of my cherry tomatoes in there. And if you know these bags, if you know, these bags are what we give when we have functions. We'll get the sweets in them, but they are actually really cool to keep my tomatoes protected, because light gets through, the sun still comes through here, as well as water. So everything is nice and moist and watered. And let's see what else is going on here. I've got my zinnias. I planted all my zinnias by seeds, and zinnias are prolific, but the more you cut these zinnias, the more they'll grow back, and they're great because they bring the bees into the garden to be able to pollinate everything. And this is another squash plant that I planted by seed. I still don't remember. I think it might be a pumpkin. I'm not sure. All right, so let's see what else do I have going on here. I've got some Chinese eggplants, the long eggplants, lots of sage. These are known as cattle patty pan squashes, and I've been reaping patty pan squashes all season, but here is an example of one of the patty pan squashes. They grow to about 4 to 5 inches in diameter, and they're super cute. You can just roast them up, and I kind of mixed in a lot of things together. Here's some chili peppers growing here. Oh, and these are beets. So these are going to be ready when they start protruding out from the soil. And I think that might be in another month or two or so. And I've also planted some Spanish onions. So I've kind of mixed in a lot of things in here. Here's some arugula. I've got some lettuce over there. And of course my sunflowers to bring in pollinators. More squash, and let's see what I've got over on this side. Oh, the bees are pollinating. I'm super excited. Can you guys see that bee? It just flew away. I've got eggplants. I've already reaped eggplants, but these are continue to grow. And my watermelon plant, which I'll show you in a second. More cucumbers here. More squash. So I'm starting to turn this bed over for the fall plants, which I'm going to be planting a lot of brassicas. And those are plants that are Brussels sprouts and broccoli. I got a lot of spinach also this year, and I've been using the leftover spinach for my smoothies mostly. But I did put down these what do you call this again? Zucchini squash seeds in here. And I'm hoping that these zucchini squash, that the weather stays well enough to be able to continue to grow those. I've got more corn in there. My Swiss chard, which I've been getting still, which is nice, but I've planted more seeds for the fall, so I'm gonna be transferring those over. And here is some more bush beans and more cucumbers. I've got a lot of cucumbers still coming in. Still gotta wait a little bit to reap those, but lots of flowers on the cucumber plants, as you can see, and all of the squash growing. Can't wait to see the butternut squash, what it's gonna yield. And I've got, let's see, more cucumbers over here. Yeah. And oh, so check out my watermelon plant. So this is my watermelon plant. This is what the leaves look like. And I planted that by seed. So now I did cover some of the watermelons. They're growing. So this one's pretty decent size right now. So I'm probably gonna have to take this bag off. But what I noticed was at the beginning, the birds got into one of them. So I covered it. But here I'm leaving these watermelons out and exposed, and let's see what happens with them. But look how beautiful these watermelons are. Pretty nice. And I've got more cucumbers in there. I gotta harvest some of these cucumbers. Yeah. So let's see what I have over here. So I've got more tomatoes tucked in here. Oh, and I think this is a cantaloupe. I couldn't remember because the seeds that I planted, I mixed them up, and I think this is a cantaloupe. Yeah, like a melon seed that I planted. So if this works out, these, yeah, it looks like cantaloupe. So hopefully those will do well, but they still have some time to go. And more squash. But check out my peppers. This is like super exciting when I get all these peppers. These basil. So I scattered basil in all of my beds, all the seeds, and they all did so well. And I mean, I just keep cutting them. As you can see, it's August 5th today, and there is no bolting of my basil, no flowers on top because I keep maintaining that. But can't wait for these peppers to turn. And I also planted chili peppers, which I've been reaping. There's some more eggplants in here. Oh, those eggplants are looking really, really good. I actually pulled some off yesterday. I gotta cook those up. And let's see. So now let's come down to the jalapeno peppers. Look at how beautiful these are. Beautiful size jalapeno peppers. Just gonna give them some time to grow a little bit more. But there's a lot of jalapenos in here. And I took a bunch of them off already and I pickled them. So look at the size of these jalapenos and look at how nice they look. And check out my shishito peppers. So these are prolific plants that are, they're just growing and producing. And the more you cut, the more they produce. Here, check out shishitos. So this is probably the third or fourth time I'm gonna be reaping from these shishito pepper trees, which is pretty good. So this is a, let's see, what is this one here? Scotch bonnet. So I bought this plant, Scotch bonnet, because I didn't have these seeds. And let's see how they're doing under there. Yeah, they're doing what they're supposed to. But these are planted by seeds. All the plants that I think that I planted by seeds have been doing way better than the plants that I bought by plants. That's for sure. Here's some more peppers. I think these are Scotch bonnets as well. And they're pretty decent size. I don't know, let's see. Look at that. Look at these habaneros in here. So many habaneros. We just need to get them to turn to the perfect red color, orange even. And when these turn, they're gonna be beautiful. So I've got a whole lot of those under there, all the way around. And I've got more chili peppers here. Look at that. And I found that the more I packed my pepper plants in, the better my peppers did this year. Look at that. All my wiri, more chilies. I kind of just planted a lot of seeds, just threw the seeds in. More basil and my cucumber plant is kind of stretching over into here. So I've got to trellis that. But I'm so excited about my garden this year. And so let me show you the tunnel, how cute it is. So you kind of just, oops, I almost fell over. So you kind of just walk through the tunnel, and I put some lights so at night it's kind of lit up, which is so cute. And I love walking through my tunnel. And at first when I planted, oh, I forgot to show you my bora, guys. Check out my bora. My yard-long beans, as they call it. Look at how long those are. It's probably almost, well, about 2 feet or so right now. But I see this dead leaf in here. Oh, anytime I see these dead leaves, I come out and get rid of that. Oh, I need my pruners to get rid of that one, actually. So, yeah. And of course, my fig tree, which I've had for years, is actually producing so well this year. I chopped this tree all the way down to the bottom right before or during winter, I think, and it's starting to produce so many figs. So I can't wait to reap from my fig tree this year as well. And let's see, what else did I plant over here? Yep, definitely lots of figs coming out. Okay, so my Carilla, like I talked about. Oh, my okra plants. Oh, more zinnias. Look at how beautiful these zinnias are. Now, when these zinnias dry up, I'm gonna make sure I take these flower buds and get the seeds off of them. I think each one of these zinnia flowers is gonna give me about 30 to 50 easily, like maybe this one, 30 to 50 seeds, so that I can replant next year. Look at my Chinese eggplants starting to grow now, and my okra. All of my okra, I've got the green okra and the red okra. Lots of okra plants going on in here, and they're pretty tall. They're about, I don't know, 2.5 feet tall or so. More Chinese eggplant starting to grow here. And that lovely basil. Yeah. But I do love the flowers. And I don't know if you noticed, but I've mixed in marigolds all around my flowers and my, what am I saying? All around my vegetable plants. And the reason is because these are really good deterrents of certain insects, but there is a space in here, and when there's a space in here, it means something needs to be planted. So I think I'm gonna start putting in some more seeds in there to fill up those gaps. But here's more of the bora, or a yard-long bean plant. Now this one I think is definitely about 3 feet long, about a yard long. Look at that. Lots of bora happening here. So I decided to harvest the jalapeno peppers. I think when they start to get a little bit big, you got to make sure you get them off of the tree so that they can start ripening the smaller fruit. So let's see how many habaneros, and I'm only taking the ones that are actually coming right off, not the ones that I have to pry off. Let's see, there's some in here, Luke. Let's throw those in there. And oh, there's some bigger ones in here. Look at these. And I think this is like the 3rd or 4th time, probably the 4th time that I've been getting these jalapenos off of here. Ah, an ant on me. That's the other thing, is when you have your peppers, unfortunately you have to deal with the bugs. So let's see, I've got shishito peppers over here. So let's start grabbing these shishito peppers. They look fabulous. And I'm just gonna get the bigger ones so that they can focus on ripening the shishitos that are still smaller. And these are great just sauteed up or baked or grilled, roasted rather. Super, super good. I love shishito peppers. Check out all of these. So I planted 2 shishito pepper trees and they are prolific. Look at how many shishito peppers. So nice. I love it. Oh, this one turned red. I guess I left this one on too long. So I think that's good. I'm going to leave the rest of them on here. Okay. All right, so we've got some wiri wiri peppers here. None of them have gotten red yet, so let's get some of these chili peppers off of here. I love these chili peppers. They're pretty hot, and I love eating them raw. They're so good. Got lots of chili peppers. I'm just getting the big ones. I'm leaving the small ones on here so that they can continue to grow bigger. But just getting the big ones, and if you leave them on long enough, oh, I gotta make sure I tie this up so it doesn't take over. It's a squash plant. Oh, we have some more eggplants in there, but I think I'm gonna let these get a little bit bigger. These aren't that big. I just already harvested some off of that. All right, let's move over to the next chili pepper tree. Alrighty, so let's see what's on here that we can pick. Let's grab some of these big ones in here. I guess I planted more chili peppers than I realized, but I'm so excited because they're so good. I had a couple that are really hot. There's another tree. Oops. Let's throw that back. Let's get some of these. And you can pickle these. I put a couple of them with jalapenos already, and I pickled them in a jar and put them in the refrigerator. And they're so good. You can take them out and eat them with your food. They're just as good. Not as flavorful as the Wiri Wiri pepper, which I love, but they're really, really good. Oh, love these. And there's so much more flowers. That means more of these peppers are going to start to grow because I picked all of these. All right, let's throw those in there. All right. So if you notice under here, we have so many habaneros. Are these habaneros or Scotch bonnets? I can't remember. But either way, they've got like at least 30 on this plant all around. We got to make sure. And these are Scotch bonnets here.
Oh,
so
I see one getting orange.
Is it? Oh.
One on the bottom.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yep, perfect. Okay, one more chili pepper plant. Chili peppers. Get these bigger ones off of here. Okay, I see. All right, so let's get some of these. I don't think these are actual Wiri Wiris. They're not like shaped like that. They're not round, but they're good regardless. So let's just take the red ones and we'll let the rest stay on here and ripen. Because if you leave them, actually, if you leave them, they'll probably get hotter. Who knows? Okay, let's see.
Take that one. I like the orange ones too.
You do? Okay, let's grab that. These chili peppers, I'll let these ones grow a little bit bigger on here. These will take some time. Okay, good. So we got a decent amount of peppers today that we are going to go and put away and use when we're ready to eat them. We have some cucumbers. I already harvested 2 this morning, but I don't want them to get too much bigger because these are pickling cucumbers, so they're like the perfect size. Wait, check out the watermelons. Look at this bunch of cucumbers here, Layla. There's like 3 of them growing right there. So cute. And here are the watermelons. So hopefully these will grow nice. I think this one is gonna go bad, so I might leave it on for a little bit more before I figure out what to do with that.
Oh, look at that one.
Yeah, let's grab this cucumber out of here. Nice size cucumber. All right. Let's see what else is in here. All right, there's one more cucumber. This is a little smaller, but I'm just gonna grab it so I can pickle them up. And then we'll come out tomorrow, and I guarantee you we'll have more cucumbers again and more peppers to grab. But everything looks great. The bora is coming. Look at all these bora. They're gonna grow and they're gonna hang down like beautiful tendrils, and they're gonna grow up nice and long, like a yard-long bean. Alright, I wanna clip this eggplant lay because it's a decent size and we can make something simple with it. Looks great. Alright, so I think we're going to grab some basil off of here and make some pesto. Do you want to make pesto pasta maybe for dinner? Because we have all this beautiful basil. And I think we'll do that. And when you clip your basils, when you clip your basil, it makes it grow even bushier, which is lovely.
It smells so strong.
It smells so good, yeah. So
And some rosemary.
and rosemary because we're gonna make steak. Oh, look at this one okra. What do you think? Should we just grab this one? Here? Yeah. Oh, saute it up because I don't want them to grow bigger than that. We have some okra plants out here and I neglected to check them out, so this okra got really big, and unfortunately when it gets this big it's too hard, but I'm sure we can cut it up and eat it somehow. Let's see. Look at how huge that, oh my god, what is that? Look at that
Giant okra.
oh, that's a giant okra for real. Let's grab some of these here. See, so now we actually have a bunch of okra that was perfect. We can throw into our dal. Let that one, oh, grab this one. And this one's a little small, so we'll leave it. But look at all the okras growing here. See?
Yeah.
And over there. So cool. I love plants. That's lavender, Layla. And I just put my scallion heads here and they grow up. But this white butterfly is a moth and it destroys your plants. So look at my Rios. I staked it. When you stake it, it grows tall. But this is bok choy seeds I just put down. And look at how the bok choy grew up. So nice. I have more eggplants here. Some more tomatoes. This tomato is starting to blush, but this was like a little tiny baby tomato plant that really didn't do that well. But it's got about 6 tomatoes on here, and this one's already starting to ripen, which is nice. And I've got more pepper trees and bell peppers, and more herbs here. And look at the tomatoes. And these are indeterminate tomatoes, so they look how tall. I think it's like 6 feet tall, maybe 5 feet tall by now. And they keep growing cherry tomatoes on them.
It's
Right.
way more than 5 feet tall because I'm 5'4" and it's taller.
Yeah, it's way more. It's probably like 6 feet tall. But look, let's grab some rosemary so that we can use it on our steak for dinner. I think that should be good. That should be enough.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Smells so good. So that's our basil. So we've got to wash that up and we're going to make some pesto with it. Here's our rosemary for the steak, our okras, all of our peppers. And we're going to make some pickles with that. Maybe we can use that with a salad. We'll go get some lettuce. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed my harvest. And more to come because I'm going to be transferring my summer garden into my fall garden and planting Brussels sprouts and broccoli and more kale and more spinach. But I'm going to go put these into the house now and make dinner. But like, share, and subscribe if you like these videos and you want to see more of them. Please comment and let me know.